Hello, Sonia Barrett here once again, and today I'm going to do one of the little chit chats that I do from time to time. And today's topic is on survival. Basically, it's about the survival programs, networked into survival programs. Now, the last chit chat that I had done, somebody left a comment and said, why is it that what I desire, I focus on it and it just doesn't happen. It's not unfolding. And that is so very common. All of us have been through that. It's part of the human experience. Well, why is that? Why does it happen that way? Well, we have to remember that we are networked into a series of survival programs, collective survival programs, and which obviously spins off into our individual survival programs and all of the survival programs that we've picked up along the way since we got here on the planet. Now, we also need to remember the bigger network that we may call the matrix or the system that we're all actually networked into, we're all wired into. And you look at it again like a computer system is set up, we're all wired into that. And anybody who takes offense with such terms like be networked or wired into like a computer system, I'm always saying if you have a problem with it, then you need to examine why is it that you have a problem with it. What I do is I'm looking at things for what they are, how everything appears to be, set up or structured. And I give you an example that may probably make sense to anybody who is questioning, and even if you're not questioning it. But what is it that I always say turns us on and shuts us off? What is it that regulates our bodies? How does our body know that you're at the age of 12 or 13 to go through puberty, or as you go along and you're on this cycle? Well, something is, I always say, counting the years, something is keeping track. Well, how is that possible? Because you have to be wired into something. We are networked into a system, a greater system, a cosmic simulation. Anyway, but that's not really the topic, but is to really bring the attention to that something is happening, something, you're wired into something that is keeping track of you as you age, or the length of time you're here on the planet and the various things that happen just even with your body, just looking at that. So anyway, let's get back to the survival programs that we're talking about. Yes, we try to make things happen on a conscious level, and you've heard that also before, the subconscious mind and all of the programs in the subconscious mind that you're up against. And that is really precisely it. Things don't happen just because, a lot of times we say, oh, we want this to happen. What I want people to really look at is the fact that there is judgment. There's judgment about yourself, about life in general. There is focus also on escaping, focus on, we're busy feeling trapped and stuck. Those things are important to recognize. Why? Because much of our energy, much of our resources, our creative resources, are tied into holding together those feelings, those emotions, those, what is it? As I said, judgments. You're busy focused on that. And what happens? That's what we're crystallizing. So all of your energy, all of your creative juice is busy trying to escape. As I most often hear, people say they're trying to escape this matrix, and I'm always saying, but it's not about that. Just a very act of escaping. The idea of escaping it means that you are running from something, and moving beyond all of this is really transcending. There's a difference between transcending and trying to escape. Escape means something is chasing you and you're in fear and you want to go into hiding from it, and that's not, at least from my perspective, that's not what I see how the game really kind of works. If you really do want to move forward beyond feeling trapped and stuck, it is about transcending those experiences. So I'm bringing to people's attention the fact that we crystallize all of those things that become the sort of the stumbling block, then, for lack of a better word, become the things that seem to block us from getting the things that we say that we want, or the kind of life that we want. Also, to just say, this is what I want to do, and then when you realize it was not happening, you have to stop and you have to examine, well, why is it that it hasn't happened? What is it that's going on in my reality? Why it's not happening? You have to look at your belief system once again. You have to look at your sense of wanting to escape, your sense of feeling stuck and trapped. You want to look at life the way you're living it right now. You want to look at your history, your family's history, your thought process growing up, your belief systems. You want to look at all of those things in the sense of how, though, all of that relates to the things that you're attempting to do, or that you're wanting to have happen, because there's obviously things there, beliefs there, that do stand in the way of you moving forward into having that kind of life unfold, whatever that desire may be. Also, again, it's not about escaping. It's about the feeling. It's about the pleasure that you feel that you will derive from the experience, the more the excitement of entering into a new experience. That's what that's about. It's the thrill of entering into doing this thing, whatever that may be, a new job, and a new business venture, a new idea that you might have, a new relationship, a different kind of relationship. It's that feeling of what that would feel like, as opposed, in focusing, putting the energy on that, as opposed to, man, I got to get out of here, or I hate this, or man, reality, it sucks. If only I could just get away, get out of this reality, this life. That's where all your power gets tied in. It's all tied up in that kind of thinking, and so you end up getting a lot more of those things that support that, because that the way we are designed is because we are masters, and we use the word create, but what I like to say is that because we exist in a sea of potentials, a sea of possibilities, what we do is we align ourselves with a potential, with a possibility. And so when you look at it that way, what you're doing at this time is you're simply aligning yourself with the possibilities of the things that you feel that you don't care for, you don't like, and you're putting more of your power into that. And that's why it seems like it's always so much easier. It's easier to be, as they say, negative than it is to be positive, because we have practiced that for so long, because so terms negative is generally related to survival, strongly related to survival, as opposed to simply participating in the pleasure of an experience, just wanting to align with that potential, that possibility, that experience. So I say to you, examine. Don't just say, everything the things I want to do is just not happening. Well, be honest with yourself. What is your current situation? What is it that, what is the belief behind your current situation? What have you told yourself? Why this is the way you have to do this right now? What have you cemented for yourself? What are the negotiations that you've got going on in your mind about you and your progression and the changes that you do want to make in your life? What is the board meeting that you got going on in your head every day or in every next moment? Because we're real good with validating why we do the things that we do. We're real good at with coming up with excuses. And again, because what we do is we're great problem solvers and we're used to solving problems, and that is a core part of our experience here. Is we're habitual problem solvers. So again, we're always looking for a problem to solve. We always need something to solve. So stop and look at where you are right now. What are the conditions in your life right now? Why these things aren't unfolding? And more importantly, what's your thought process? What are you thinking? What are you coming up with? Not just getting upset because it's not happening. What is your belief system? What are the limitations that you've put on how this can unfold for you? Have you locked it in a box that it can only happen this way? Once I put this together, once I save up this money, then I'm going to put it towards doing this thing. And somehow, every time you try to save up that money, it gets spent. It doesn't go towards that thing. And that's because there's some other belief there that you've got going on. And because of that, that money just it just doesn't happen. And why do you think that you have to do it that way? Maybe you don't have to do it that way, but you leave no room for things to happen another way. So again, it's all about just taking an honest look at our lives and how we run our lives. I always say run your life like a business. I swear, reality, operating in reality is like running a business. And just seeing what decisions, what choices you're making. What are you buying into, as I love to say, meaning what are you infusing with your power? What are you charging up with your power, which is again your emotional energy that crystallizes and presents you with the life that you have and the things that we have before us. Not saying that any of this is, you know, easy. It is easy. Again, like Confucius says, enlightenment need not take a lifetime, but can come in a moment. The challenge for us is that everything is so habitual to us. Our lives have become such a habit. The way that we live our lives is such a habit. And since we are creatures of habit, and since the way reality seems to operate is by the habits that we form, doing something repetitiously, and then that becomes part of our wiring. So now we just have to change the habit. What is the new habit? You just change habits. We're not fighting against programming, because programming is part of the design. It's part of how we operate. It just depends on what is the program, and whose program is it, whose information is it. So it's all of that you have to take into account, to look at. And um and then, just do your best in moving forward and seeing where your mind is in every next moment. And look at some of these other videos, and whatever else shows itself to you, anybody else's work information that seems to align with you, then you use that to support your transformation. That's all you're doing. You're using these kinds of tools, like the videos I'll put up. It's to support your transformation, your own awakening, and maybe recognizing or staying in touch with that expansive part of you that I like to say is always present and always there. Anyway, what I want to remind everybody of is that these chit chats, I do them every now and then, but there is now a daily 5-minute reboot. And I'm trying to be real clear on that because sometimes people get confused. No, they will not be posted to YouTube. I do them every day now. They're 5 minutes. And you have to be a subscriber on my website, spiritinformed.com, to receive those 5-minute reboots every single day. You have to go to spiritinformed.com and subscribe. Then you will get them every day, 365 days. Um, well, I think they say it's 365 days, but in the Matrix, 365 days, they will be available, and it's automatic where they, you'll get it each day in your email box. So if you want to hear more of this every day, then become a subscriber. Um, and that's, that was a suggestion by one of the people that is looking at these videos. And so anyway, so that's kind of what happened. It started last week. And yeah, I'm rather enjoying doing those 5-minute videos. And I think everybody else is too. So go ahead, spiritinform.com, and become a subscriber. Also subscribe to this YouTube channel because I will still put up some chit chat every now and then. But now that I do the 5-minute reboot and you have them every day, then I probably won't do as many, obviously, of these, for YouTube. So, anything else that I need to tell you? Just go to spiritinform.com and check out the site and anything else that's there. And I love to see the comments, so go ahead, please do leave comments. All right. Until next time, see you then.